Hey.
John, say hi.
Let's Beyonce.
Hello.
Let's Beyonce.
What's up?
Hi, wonderful camera.
Hold on. Get the shirt. Take this coat off and get the shirt.
That'll be good footage for you.
Alright.
Royal Blue Steppers!
Yeah.
Hey, thank you! Happy birthday! Collective Fruit! Hi! Happy birthday, Martin Luther King!
He's 15 now, so he does he's in Decatur. And I remember picking him up at the daycare. It was so fun. He was just a little guy. He was still stuff. He was the fighter. And then I've got this point I use. Hey, how are you?
Good.
Great event, best ever. Gosh, I've been going to these probably a couple of decades now, and I have to tell you, this was the best one we've ever had. Best attendance, best performances in our beautiful facility, and it's a gorgeous day here. So, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. It was an awesome day.
Program. It's great that school board members and city council members are here together.
Nice. Thank you. Hey.
It was an incredible program. Everybody did well. Thank you, and I can't wait for next year for bigger, better, and amazing. Thanks. Good job to you too, David.
Thank you. Hey.
Hi, thank you for coming out to the Martin Luther King event. Yes. Sponsored by the Diversity Commission, City of Federal Way. Tell me your name, please.
My name is Zanette Evans.
Hi, Ms. Evans.
Yeah, and I do have a business. Can I throw that in there too?
Absolutely.
Saints of Gold.
Saints of Gold.
Yes, that's my business.
Are you registered with the City of Federal Way?
Well, I'm
As a
registered
citizen?
with Pierce County. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not in Federal Way.
No, I'm in Northeast Tacoma. The
Okay.
Federal Way is my stomping ground.
That's okay. We believe anybody that lives, works, or plays here is part of the family.
And
So
the state of
thank
Washington.
you. Absolutely.
State of Washington.
Yeah, that's how we do it. So thank you so much. But is this your first time at the Martin Luther King event?
No, I try to come annually.
Okay.
Because Trinice invites me, and
She
I
does
want to
a good
support.
job.
Yeah, she does. I want to support her.
And she is actually the president or the chair of the Diversity Commission. Her term was up yesterday, so we got a new one, Miss Tracy.
I love her. I love her.
She
She's
does
like a daughter to me.
great work.
Yeah,
great
yeah,
work.
I think so.
So what resonated here with you this year out of all the performances?
Well, you had just mentioned as we were prior talking that it was more than just the schools, it was the community. And that's what I really like, the different ethnic groups that came through, the Chinese or Asians or whatever, and different people that were performing. And yeah, the young people were great. So I'm easy to please. I'm easy to please.
But you felt the love.
I did. I felt the camaraderie. I felt the unity.
Let me ask you this: based on the "I Have a Dream" that Martin Luther King stood for, range 1 to 10, how are we on that dream as a nation? Well, I know you're not City of Federal Way, but we'll say Washington just here. Diversity, equity, inclusion, all of those things.
1 to 10?
Accessibility, 1 to 10.
10 being the highest?
Yeah, and I know you say you work in the city, so you're here so you can serve as well.
I think we're like maybe a 4. That's my personal. That's my personal conviction. Yeah. Working in various areas here within the city, Federal Way, Tacoma, Seattle. It just wasn't enough diversity. Yeah.
Do you know how? Are you aware that we have a language bank here? Because we have over 120 different languages spoken in school.
I am.
We have a language bank, so people can
I
come
didn't
and
know
use
that we had a language bank. No, I wasn't.
It's recent. We just got one. It's only been,
No, I didn't know that.
not a long time.
Okay,
a couple
that's
months.
good.
But people can come from different languages. Over 300 languages in there.
Yes.
So when people diversity can come to
Like
City
that.
Hall and get questions, answers, business information, all of that stuff. So
I'll look that
we're
up to
working
find
on
that.
doing
Oh,
that.
that's great.
We're working on doing
That's
that.
great. And that's what I want to build on, ethnicity within my own organization. Yeah. So it's important because of all the different cultures within the city, even Federal Way in Tacoma.
Yes.
Yeah, so I love that.
Well, thank
great.
you so much. We thank you for your support. And again, we are all about anybody that lives, works, or plays in our city. So thank you.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tirza Idahosa, and I'm a Diversity Commissioner for the City of Federal Way. And your name?
My name is Shayna Ludwig. I'm a paraeducator over at Decatur High School working with our ACP multilingual students. Also the advisor for our Black Student Union. our LGBTQ plus club, QUIC, our queer inclusion community, and our student equity group, GUARD, which is our Gators United Against Racism and Discrimination.
Ooh, y'all are busy over there.
You know, we got to support the whole student.
So, how did you enjoy the Martin Luther King event?
I loved it. This is my first year coming to it. I can't wait for next year. I thought it gave me a sense of community, and I felt like I was a part of Federal Way.
All right. Well, like I said, we have a saying here that if you live, work, or play in Federal Way, you're part of Federal Way. So we thank you for what you're doing here. So when you're looking at the people that performed and different things, what resonated with you the most? What made you feel?
Being able to see our young people's voices being heard, being able to work at a high school that is a real big thing for our kids is being able to be heard and being authentic as they're speaking and being heard. Seeing all of them from the elementary school up to the high school, up to the adults in our community coming together to lend a voice to such an important subject matter was incredible.
So based on 1 to 10, I have a dream. What do you think the number would be for Federal Way, being diverse, equity, inclusion, accessibility, all of those things that the dream encompassed for today, 1 to 10? How are we?
I would say that we're at a 5, but we're steady climbing because we continue to stumble, but we also stumble and get back up and try something else. I don't believe we'll ever be a 10 because to say we're a 10, we'll become stagnant and complacent. As long as we keep trying and we keep pushing, we're going to keep elevating and becoming what the example is to be an equitable, diverse community.
So when you're doing your stuff with Black history and things like that, are you familiar with John and Mary Connor?
No, I was not. But I'm looking forward to getting more information since I've been out here, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be great.
John and Mary Connor, they were some pioneers in Federal Way, one of the first Black families here. And he donated over 157 acres of land here in Federal Way between the Aquatic Center and what is that called out there? Warehouse.
Yes.
All of that land. And we're trying to get actually the PAC Center named after John and Mary Connor. So it's a real active thing. We've been working on it. So we need your help and support to make that happen as you educate your students on he was the first legislator, first real estate agent, Black.
Okay.
And done a lot of Black good things here, and we want to have him honored, their family.
That would be excellent. The Black Student Union over at Decatur this year is more concentrating on the academic and the history of who we are and what we do and what we have accomplished. So it would be great for my kids to be able to learn about that, being able to go and see what that area looks like from an academic standpoint.
And excellent. So those are the things that we're doing. We meet once a month on Thursdays at 5:30. You're welcome to come to the city office where we meet at. Come ask questions, come talk about what you're doing and how we can help you. Our job as the commissioners are to advise the city council and the mayor of what your needs are. So we need to hear from you in order to go back and talk to them.
I am excited to come out and participate and lend the voice for my students. I tell everyone all the time that my voice is just there to help elevate my kids' voice. So when I'm speaking for them until they can learn to speak for themselves.
When you come out, you'll also learn about the funding that city has for some of your programs. We have some ARPA funds, but there's a way you have to apply for it. So you need to come and get information on that so you guys can have funding to do a lot of the programs that you have.
I would love that. Seeing the students that we came back with after COVID, it is a greater need for more resources to come directly to them versus them figuring out how to get to it. Some of these kids, they don't have transportation, and I'm gonna be honest, sometimes riding the bus or using public transportation could be a little scary, just navigating around the city itself. So being able to get it to the students when we know we have the students is so pivotal right now.
We know a lot of young people, we haven't heard a lot of the stories, but if you're in the community, you hear a lot of suicides and things took place during COVID that I think programs and funding would have helped a lot.
It would have. A lot of the mental health services that can be provided for our kids are much needed right now. We have to sometimes sit back and think that we don't know what went on at home. We don't know what their background is, what trauma they may have experienced. So being able to get them those much needed mental health services are so very important. Being able to let them know, hey, you can still be a kid. A lot of our students had to become adults. really quick. They were raising themselves and their siblings. They were becoming breadwinners in their households, and then have to be thrown back into being a student. You know, it's a difficult transition. So whatever we can do to help uplift them and show them that support will be beneficial to not only getting them to graduate, but also putting out the best quality person that they can be.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Right hand, right here.
All right, we're rolling.
Hi, I'm Tirza Idahosa, and I'm a diversity commissioner here in the city of Federal Way. And your name is?
Jeremy Windsor.
Hi, what's your name?
Rajon.
Hi, it's nice to meet you guys. I want to know if I can ask you a couple of questions. We're at the Martin Luther King event today, and is this your first time here?
Yes, this is my first time. I'm a resident of Federal Way, but this is my first time in the Performing Arts Center for sure.
So how did you enjoy the?
I loved it. I loved all the performances by the youth, from the middle school youth to the adults. I love the speeches and just what collectively what this meant for the community.
So what resonated with you the most?
What did you like the most about this event?
I liked how people that were young and people that were in school came here to perform their speeches.
Nice. I'm glad that you came. So given the fact that I have a dream, so 1 to 10, what do you think we are at on that scale with diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, all of that, which is what the dream was for? And I know you do a lot of work in Federal Way. So we talk about if you work here, live here, play here, you're part of us. So I want to know what you think about that.
Yes, I work in community and I work with system impacted kids who are progress pushers. So honestly, if I gave it a scale to 1 to 10, I would say we're at a 6. We still have a lot of work to do. Of course, more events like this, more inclusion for the community, and more opportunity for the community to come together collectively will rise that number. But right now, we still have a fight. We're still in the fight, and we still have a long way to go. But again, opportunities like this for the community, our youth, to understand what the past has brought us to and where we're headed to is going to bring us more onto that, to raise that number up, of course.
I like you saying that. It's absolutely true. And I'm admiring your shirt, your jacket you have on has several of our heroes.
A lot of leaders.
There are several of them,
they're
amazingly.
actually mug shots of all these leaders, correct?
Make that plain.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It takes a lot to stand up for right.
Yes, ma'am.
And sometimes you wind up in jail. So given that, when we're talking about what people had to stand for, what they're going for, I don't know how to put my question now. I'm just thinking that just brought back a lot of memories because the sacrifices that are made. How are we going to make sure that our kids understand the sacrifices that were made so we can make those same sacrifices we're making today so our kids can be better? I know one of the things we talked about was making sure that there was funding for some of these programs. And how important is funding that will make some changes so our ancestors that went to jail, some of these things can be a reality in this day and age?
I would say funding might be the biggest issue, right? Because a lot of times this money is allocated to other places and not giving to where they really need at. And even when it is given, it's a drop in the hat compared to what the amount of money that could actually be doing. You want me to work with system impacted kids, but you want to give me pennies to do that work, and then when the work is done, you want to pat me on the back, but not allow more funding. So youth like this can understand where we've come from, right? Where we come from, and then the direction where we're going. Because if we don't give them that opportunity to understand where they come from, we can get lost in this track and revert right back to where we were. And we don't want that, of course, right? The number 6, we wouldn't want it to be 4 years from now. We want that number to rise, where now we're all feel included and collectively as a community. Even Federal Way, where I even talked about this. This event was amazing opportunity to see youth, every ethnic race, color, creed, all in the same room. But I wish more. I seen not a lot of politicians in here, not a lot of Federal Way community council members in here. Where were they at? Why not be here, right?
You may not know that we have to introduce you. We did have, our mayor was here, our city council members were here, several of them were here, and we also had the mayor and some of her staff from Auburn. So they are taking a look at this. They were here. Yeah. They were present. They are taking a look. But it does make for them, because obviously if you don't know them, that means either they need to get out more into the community because they can't keep asking us to come to them. So they do need to get out more so you'll know them and recognize them when you see them in events like this. But next we have coming up is the Flavor of Federal Way and Juneteenth. So let's get to talking and get some more people and make it bigger and better.
Let's triple
Thank
that.
you for
Let's
coming.
triple this event for those.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you for coming. We
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
Thank you for having us, for sure. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tirza Idahosa, and I'm a diversity commissioner for the City of Federal Way. And what's your name?
Judy.
Judy. Thank you for coming to our event today, the Martin Luther King Celebration. How did you enjoy yourself?
I loved it.
Is this your first time here?
Yes, it is. It's my first time in this building and the first time to see this event.
Okay, are you from Federal Way in this area?
Yes, I am. My daughter is Lisa Wallace.
Oh, Lisa Wallace, she's one of our commissioners.
Yes.
Yes, she's doing great work.
So that's why I'm here, was that she told me about this, and I want to support the work of the Diversity Committee.
She is our vice chair.
I know, she
Yes, she's
told me.
doing great
Yeah.
work. We really appreciate it. So what resonated with you here? What did you think about the performances?
What resonated with me was how many youth performances there were and how courageous these children were to get, from all ages, young through high school and beyond, to get up on that stage in front of all these people and perform. I thought was pretty impressive.
Yeah, they did a great job. So let me ask you this. On a scale of 1 to 10, with I Have a Dream being Martin Luther King's vision for the world, 1 to 10, what do you think that vision is today? What number? With equity, diversity, inclusion, accessibility, all of those things. Where do you think we are in the City of Federal Way today?
Five.
That's fair.
Yeah, 5. I think Federal Way has to go a long way in embracing the diversity of everybody in this community, not just not one group, singular. But we have such a diverse community here, and I haven't ever seen anything that is promoting the diversity and inclusion. And watching my grandchildren go through school here, I haven't seen any functions or other than MLK Day. I haven't seen anything else that's embraced other cultures and other communities.
We do have work to do, and that's been kind of the theme with everybody
Yes.
we've interviewed. And no one's given us more than a 6. So you're right in that area.
So I'm right in that.
Yeah, and only one
Yeah.
6. Everybody else was 5 and below. So you're absolutely right. We've got work to do. Considering, I don't know if you're aware that we're the 5th in the state in diversity. We have almost 200 different languages spoken in our school district. So
I know that. I thought it was that we were even higher up in that as far as diversity. I know we have many cultures here.
And because we all have live, work, and play in this city, we choose to be here, we've got to do better. I agree with you. And that's what the Diversity Commission is here for. We meet once a month on Thursdays at 5:30 at the City Hall. You're welcome to come. We take community can have conversations with us there. We get information. Our job is to take information back and advise the mayor and the city council of what the city says that they want and that they need. So thank you for saying
I think that's a really important voice. I think the Diversity Committee's work is really important for the future of our community.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Ready? Hi, my name is Tirza Idahosa, and I'm a diversity commissioner here in the City of Federal Way. And I wanted to talk to you guys about how did you enjoy the Martin Luther King event today?
I think it was really informative and fun because a lot of the seniors and performers, they gave a lot of information and emotion into what they were doing. And I really felt it. Even backstage, being that close, it was really
Getting it going, huh?
I think it was very fun to cooperate with other people from other places, and it was fun to bring back the past that they had to face, and it was fun.
So I know you guys were performing, so you guys performed, but when you got a chance to watch other people perform, what resonated with you as some of the good stuff that you would take home with you from here?
Some of the singers, because the first singer that went up, she was wearing the red sweater. I liked her singing the most because it was very emotional, and her words kind of corresponded with me, and like it was really fun. And the singer that went after her, I liked her too because the piano and her singing just made it like very spurt.
Very strong for such a young voice. That girl, yes. How the kids say she got bars, huh?
Yeah.
So out of that, when you're talking about Martin Luther King, you know, he had a dream. That's what we're here for. Now, are you guys from Seattle? You from Federal Way?
Yeah.
So, giving the scale 1 to 10, how do you feel that Federal Way is doing on that I have a dream with diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility? How do you think we're doing?
I think we're doing like, out of 10, I think we're doing like pretty good because we have a lot of diversity here, and a lot of our food is very cultural and diverse. And a lot of our neighborhoods, we have a lot of races, and a lot of our schools are like very diverse. Like the school where I'm from, there's like people from all over the world.
What school is that?
Sacramento.
Okay. And you're feeling on the, what's the rate? 1 to 10? What do you think?
I think it's a 10 too, because we can see other cultures telling us about the culture, not like show and tell or show not tell. And like it was very nice to hear those singers because like their voice was very enjoyable.
So we have some other. Our commission, the Diversity Commission, we meet once a month on Thursdays at 5:30 at the City Hall. So you're welcome to come. Our job is to advise the mayor and the city council of what the needs are. So when you guys come and talk to us, we then take that information to them and get things done. So you guys are welcome to come and see us. We also have openings on our, there is also a youth council commission. You guys aware of that? We have a youth commission too. We're looking for people like you guys to come in and join the youth commission as well. This is our city. If you work, live, or play here, we're all about making it better for everyone. Thank you for participating. No problem. Hi, I'm Teresa Ida Hosa, and I'm one of the commissioners on the diversity commissioners here in the city of Federal Way. And your name is?
I'm Eddie Purpose.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
We're here. How did you enjoy the Martin Luther King celebration?
Oh, the celebration was absolutely wonderful. From the performances to the speeches, just to the information and the impact of Martin Luther King and his legacy. I see it continuing and reverberating all throughout the community.
Was this your first time here, the PAC?
No, that's not my first time here at this location, but it's my first time experiencing an event like this.
Oh, okay. So based on that, when we're talking about all the young people that was here, what resonated with you most, or what performer?
I would just say the diversity of it, right? From the Chinese dancers to the steppers at the middle school, you know, all the way down to the young kids, which one of them was my niece, right, Harmony. But they did a wonderful job, and it just shows that his legacy is continuing all throughout the generations, all the way down to the 6 and 7 year olds.
Yes. All right, that's a good one. So, I don't know if you live in Federal Way.
I just moved from Federal Way, but I'm a product of Federal Way.
Okay,
I've been living here for a long time, since I was 12 years old.
All right, we say anybody that lives, works, or plays here, that's
right.
They're
That's
contributing.
Right. Yeah.
So, with that in mind, if we're talking the dream Martin Luther King had, scale 1 to 10, how are we doing on diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility? How are we doing?
I would say here in Federal Way that I would give it a 5. And I would give it a 5 because Federal Way is one of the most diverse areas, not just in King County, but in the state of Washington. But to my understanding, this is like one of the very first diversity events like this concerning Martin Luther King, and just, concerning diversity with bringing different people together. I haven't seen an event like this here yet, and so I would say that we're on a good start, and that's why I would give it a 5.
Mm-hmm. That's good. We've had other ones, but this particular year, the Diversity Commission is hosting it.
Right.
And, we're not hosting, we just opened it up wider.
You guys did
we
a
have
wonderful
hosted
job.
it before. We just opened it wider to more people, and it was very effective.
That's what it
very
took.
Effective.
That's what it took.
So, I know you do a lot of work in the city, so we're wondering how that can help, because I know a lot of them talk about money. Are you guys registered for any of the ARPA funds or anything like that? Do you know how to? Are you getting access to better
We
help
are
your
in the
programs?
process of getting access to some of those funds concerning Federal Way, but we've been actually doing our work through Progress Pushers here since 2017. And from the schools to community, we do community events every quarter, and so we definitely have been doing a lot of work in community and allowing Dr. King's legacy to continue through the work that we're doing.
Do you know who John Americana is?
That name does not sound familiar. You got to tell me, talk to me.
John Americana were the first African Americans in the city of Federal Way.
Whoa.
He was a slave. He came here. He was into real estate. He was the first legislator.
Okay.
The first legislator that fought for things we're still fighting for today. Justice, that we can go into the hotels, that we can go into the restaurants. He was one of the first people that fought for that. He also then became a real estate agent. He donated over 157 acres of land from Weyerhaeuser to the Aqua Center by Winco. All of that land was donated. We're trying to see how we can get this right here, the Pack Center, named the John and Mary Pack Center. There's no representation for our African American leaders in the city of Federal Way, one of the most diverse cities here. So
absolutely,
maybe when you guys talking to your young people, you can look at the history of African Americans and what we're doing in this city.
Absolutely,
and help us support making those things happen.
Wonderful idea, and I completely support that. John Americana, absolutely.
Yeah, it's John and Mary Conna, C-O-N-N-A, Conna.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
Yes, ma'am.
you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.